Well, it is 9:20 a.m. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Drift. If you're just waking up, we have done quite a few things on set, including the Arrive Alive conversation on ensuring you actually are safe on the roads. Amazing cyclist Grace the Studios, thank you very much. And now on the Drip and Flex, I should have gotten my eyebrows, pimped and made better, but I didn't have the time because I had to rush into this conversation on the big conversation this morning. Now, I asked the makeup artist a question before we, moved to this segment about why she's not seated somewhere in an office wearing amazing skirt suits, trouser suits, and doing an 8-to-5 job. Mostly they call that the white-collar jobs. Eventually, during this century and now in 2022, I see a lot of shift when it comes to careers, especially from the young people. Unlike having, gone through a program in a university or in some institution of higher learning where you're holding a degree in either law, a doctorate, honorary degrees, etc. We're seeing a lot of people trying to figure out other ways to put food on the table. And now it's shaping. If you agree, hit that like button. If you disagree, hit that like button. And also leave us your sentiments and perspectives on why the career shift, if you like, career drift today. Karibuni sana. One amazing thing is I don't have somebody who has gray hair on set.
Gray hair, why?
Because then we want to hear their wisdom. They might have a very different angle.
I have colored and you got no wisdom.
Her energy is already showing you, and she has a few things pimping her side right there. But allow me to welcome you all, gentlemen. Azuri, I will come to you. I call her Azuri. That's the name of your line.
Yeah, sure.
We're coming to you shortly. Matu, how are you? You're very calm in your in your profile. You're a bit louder because of the many hats you wear. But when you come on set in person, you're a bit calm. You have a heart, human rights.
Yeah.
You are an advocate or a student of the law.
Yeah.
I cannot say all of them, but please just introduce yourself and catch up with the viewers, and then we will be coming in with a question.
Again, I'm Humphrey. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm Brian Mato. I'm an advocate of the High Court. I'm a founder of NonMat Limited. I'm also the acting CEO of Path Legal Foundation. Yeah.
Very curious to know about the Path Legal and the
NonMat.
NonMat, Limited as well.
Yeah.
Because somehow you have, a foot on the employment, but advocates sometimes even go independent. So you're practicing in a different firm.
Yeah.
Not really with a high court,
Not
right?
really,
So
yeah.
there's another drift there that people could, want to follow up on.
Yeah.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Clive Donnelly, good morning.
Good morning.
You're very vocal when it comes to environment and activism. I'm curious on what angle you want to take today on career. Please say good morning and how you feel.
Good morning. This is Clive. I am a human rights educator and a climate activist, working with Atlas Global Movements, 1 Million Youth Action Challenge, and Global Peace Building Network Russia. So today we look forward to this controversial conversation, and we look forward to engaging with everyone.
Thank you. You see the number of hats they are wearing, and there's one foot here. I'm working with this, but I am doing this as well. And finally, you are so proud of what you do.
Very. Thank you for having me back, actually, from Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I
owed you. During our last segment, I promised a couple of gifts.
Yes.
So some of these, for today, it's Look Up.
Oh, thank you.
But then during Christmas, there are a couple of gifts we offered, actually, me and Look Up. Because you put me on the spot.
Yes, we had to for the viewer.
So the gifts will be going to customers at Revitalize Spa, because I met them there.
Oh,
and then they know Look Up, they subscribe to Look Up. Then customers at Highbury Liquor Store. And those are 2 gifts. And then the third one is customers in Embu.
Okay.
There's a shop in Embu.
And this is in
So
spirit.
when you subscribe to Look Up and share, you get gifts from Azuri Designs.
How
who is
good.
Azuri?
Yes.
So
All right.
who's Azuri? Azuri is hold up.
Okay, even as you let her, give us, her profile.
Got distracted to go.
Yes.
So Azuri, I'm Tanya Ireri, that's my name.
Yes.
Founder Azuri Designs Empire. It's an empire because I have a lot of hats on. I have an overall on because I'm a farmer.
Okay.
I'm an interior designer. And I'm a gifts designer, so I have my overall on. Maybe I can stand.
We will have a moment. We will have a moment because I told you.
When it comes to career, it's good to have your leg here, your leg there. And this is a line, actually.
Okay.
This is my line. It's a line of bags by Leather Freak called Tanya. The bag is called Tanya. When you just order Tanya, you're given a waist whatever. So when it comes to career, it's good to have your feet all over the place, but you manage it wisely.
All right, let's just start from there. First, congratulations. Your empire is doing great.
Thank
like
you.
Like you said, if you just, Google Tanya bags,
yeah, just
it's
Google.
Gonna pop.
Just Google me.
All right. Oh, okay. Oh, my goodness, the energy in the studio. Thank you. And of course, I got this tweet or this candy already from Azuri, so thank you very much. Let's start now from the calm gentleman. When you get to Azuri, the energy shoots. And she's just said, when it comes to career, it's good to have your leg here and there. However, we've had conversations before where experts have said that's not a good idea, and that's why a lot of youth are flopping. But let's start by why is that perspective even in play today? People are doing that and doing this. Why the shift?
Honestly, from my point of view, there's something called career transition. It's a lifestyle redesign that oftenly makes you to think on what you'll make impact at the end of the day. Your long-term goals. What do you think? Like at 80, how do I want? Are you feeling comfortable in this? And what is your passion in this? You find most of the times nowadays, and we are brought up in a generation where we focus on certain areas. Like your parents tell you, you have to go school, be a lawyer, be a doctor, then come back. It's just the name of it. And when you understand now, and actually I'm thankful for the technology we have and the impact now we are playing today, that you enable to feel like you find most of the people in offices and they are not comfortable.
They're not comfortable.
You find a doctor, but he isn't comfortable.
Okay.
He doesn't have the passion. You find a bank manager or a bank teller. He's not comfortable. He has something that he wants to do. But now the bigger fear is the risk people want to take. People fear the risk to take. You see, for me, mostly when I was at the law school, my mind was on how will I be a big advocate? How will I make a name? But when I came to my final year, it came to hit me a mind like who I want to be. At 80, what will I do? Will it make an impact for everything?
At 80,
you just check. Yeah, I came up with a skill which is called argumentative formula for mine. Argumentative formula is to check the kind of 8 to 5 p.m. I'm supposed to wake up, go to job, you see. It kind of changes your mind and you feel like you must have something. And no wonder we are created with each one of us gifts. That gift, you can market it and you can enable it to be a strategist thing.
Okay. Yeah. I'm looking at him swinging on the chair a lot more. And of course, I'll ask him to stay steady for a while for the sound's sake, but I appreciate, the comfort and for starting us out with, the formula you came up with. And even for seeing 80 years into your, advocacy, legal practice, that's another thing. Clive, you wear a lot of hats, and environment is not something a lot of people are pursuing or even think they would thrive in. What is your perspective on the shift that we've started with him in his remarks? What is your general perspective? What is the underlying issue? He's mentioned people lack passion and comfort where they are at in some of these white-collar jobs.
Yes, I think career-wise it's critical for everybody to focus on what they want rather than dashing into a specific career field because maybe you excelled in a particular subject, so you think you're going to excel in the same career field. I think it's critical for people to explore what they want. After exploration, you can now begin engaging, then you gain experience and now embark on that journey because today, when we check on the intergenerational dialogue on job workforce, we have the baby boomers, we have generation X, Y, and Z. And all these people, they have got they're in different fields, and they got different dynamics that they bring in the career field. So when you want to begin, I think when you want to begin venturing into a particular career, you have to really underline what you really want, and if the SWOT of that specific career and aligns with your personality, then you'll be good to go. So I think we don't need to dive into the career because we are attracted by what it offers. Because if we are attracted by what it offers, soon you'll begin having job stressors. You're not going to be happy in that career or specific field, and even balancing work is going to be difficult on your side.
The stressors.
I love his points.
I'm actually coming to you because I saw you loving them. And if you have been on LinkedIn, there's been a post, and I'm sure most of you or all of us here on LinkedIn, and they said, can we stop glorifying the career stressors? You know, stop glorifying lack of sleep, stop glorifying extended hours at work, and people are glorifying time away from family in terms of meeting, you know, career development. And you've said something about personality. You mentioned passion. And I want to hear, if we see Azuri on set today, I'm actually seeing her personality in line with what she does, comes out now passionately.
So let me comment.
Yes.
First of all, my goal is so different. Me, I'm retiring at 40.
Not even, okay.
Not even 80. Here's the thing, when...
Okay, you didn't, okay.
Okay, not 80, not 50, not 60, it's 40. And I wish I could retire at 35. I just turned 35 the other year. So I wish I could retire at 35. You know why? You let your money do for you the work. When you're younger, you have more energy. Like, yeah, I've got more energy with me. That's why I'm able to do farming. That's why I'm able to do gifts. I'm able to do interior design. I'm able to do this and that. Then I like his point where he said, you just don't jump into any other career.
Okay.
But it's good, test your waters. Endo pake rangi kidogo. Jua kama hiyo kitu iko yako. Endo lime kidogo. Like for me, I don't know farming. But I had to go to Embu and farm. Like right now, I've just come from Embu. That's where I live. So I've just come in. I went there to learn to farm. Okay. So I see, is it for me or is it against me? Ama, in agriculture, what is it that I can really add? And I like the fact that we have a guy for climate here. Hapo kwa tent nyuma nitamuuliza farming na climate change, because I'm facing a lot of changes when it comes to climate change and all. But here's the thing about career. Don't be scared about starting it. And I like what your other guest said, Karemi, and I'll just quote her.
Yes.
She said it's flexible, it's fun, it's better. And that's why, like you were saying, guys in the professions, guys are bored to death with what they're doing. Change. The worst you can do to yourself is not putting your foot out. Anza na kwanza. Usianze na pesa mingi. Mimi naanza na 5 bob.
Okay.
And see where I am today. So start. My point is start. Whatever career you think about, start it. Learn about it. Look for mentors. Get taught. Look for trainers. Like for me, I'm doing training classes on gift design and packaging. Come to us. Let us teach you. I don't know if I'm off the line.
No, you're actually right, because what I know that somebody's asking themselves back at home, even for you two gentlemen, is why do we call them careers today? It was a hustle.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
It was a job.
At some point.
But now we are shaping all these things. A YouTuber is doing that almost all their time, and it's become part of their lives, and they're earning money. Is it not a career? Am I losing my vocabulary? I don't know what you have to say, because suddenly all that we thought were jobs, just one of those things you do, are now coming in and taking the space of a career.
Yeah, it's the transitions and the embarkment of mind on how you decide to view point of things. I usually tell someone, I usually say this: if you want to try something important, no matter how it is, and no matter how the odds are not your side, just try it. You see people, they start from low. You start from a very low point of view. You just grow by grow. Critics is there, and a lot of force and risks, and there, you find even the people who are there next to you. You want to try something. Like I want to try something, and I created something, and I told my parents and I told my friends, and they were like, "Yo, dude, you're grown mad, and can you just stick low?
Yeah,
can you just be an advocate?" But my mind was always pushing me, and always in my mind, and when I always tripping out, always thinking about the future of me. About what impact will I take to the society. And will my kids be happy with this? Will my family be happy with this? And will I bring a change of heart? You know, the good questions you asked, and I quoted from a book, you are not asked who you are or you're an advocate. It's what role did you play in what you are given.
Amazing. I want to take a break from there. Clive, we'll come back with you. And you want to take a look at when you're doing this shift, what do you have to have in mind? All right? It is that it's existing. People are doing this. There's so many options, but what is the best way to and the best time to actually consider that transition? She has said just that. He's saying there are things to consider. So we're coming back shortly after the short break. You're watching #The Big Conversation. And I might just as well share with somebody my hampers on set. So only if you keep it here. We'll be right back. This is The Morning Drift. All right, you're following closely The Morning Drift. Thank you very much for keeping it right here, even on social media. We are live on Facebook at Lookup TV. Just find the page and you can send in your sentiments and your perceptions on this particular topic, the career shift, if you like the career drift. Also, do not forget on Twitter, #The Morning Drift, and we are Lookup TV at Doris Anki as well. And all our guest handles are tagged there, so you can always tag and retag and retweet. Now come back, welcome back on set. I like how you all come from a different, field. Azuri is actively an entrepreneur, very vocal about it. Now she started in the middle and is also swinging again.
Nimewacha.
But I want to appreciate Clive as well. I know this is basically how the world is right now. Each personality taking a different space, and that's why Azuri is laughing at her own time. With or without a question, she's picking up. But also, let me start with Wakili right here. You mentioned something about it is not really the career, it's not really the hat you wear, it's the role that you're playing. Yeah. How is this a very vital way to look at this? Because as we're speaking right now, change needs to come from each and every one of us. The economy is devastating as we're speaking. The GDP is actually, I don't know, it's breaking down. What role? When you say the role you're playing, how does it come into play in your career choice?
The first thing, I looked at this system. I did a quick research before, and I realized that the most people were happy in their career jobs, and the most people, and the economy, how it drained down everyone's mind. But talk about the 844 system, it didn't give a chance for everyone. It gave a chance to only those who just make it, the A's materials.
Great.
Yeah. And you find most of the youths have ideas. They have strong ideas, but what they are made up in mind is that you can't make it unless you are a doctor, unless you're an engineer, unless you're a journalist, unless you're an advocate. You see, they have ideas of creating things and innovating things. Yeah, and you find it slows down, especially in it triggers down the economy. Especially you find most youths are employed because most of them they just think of one thing. They trigger on one thing, on one side. You find even it's commerce, it has a lot of people because everyone just want to make it to the white collar job. Just sit in an office, do the work, 8 to 5 p.m. You find even most people are competing for long hours, evening hours. You see that. Yeah, it's really vital, and it's really challenging for that, and even changing the economy.
And I also like the intentionality because for an entrepreneur, they can actually see when the peak is high and when it's low. For an 8 to 5, I'm just saying there's always the aspect of salary naingia lini. At the end of the day, whether they were delivering at their workplace or not, which is deteriorating our economy, they are still looking forward to a pay. Clive, you've been quiet for a longer time, and someone would ask, you're so young, you're working internationally even as we're speaking, and you're still an employee who is active and delivering, to an organization. But the question is, at what time really? What time is it wise? I wouldn't say right, to actually probably consider or reconsider a career shift or drift, or to take a risk?
So personally, I feel, first of all, today we are in intergenerational transition in terms of career-wise. And young people are engaging in more inventions in terms of innovations and invention. And so personally, I think because we are in the intergenerational job transition, there is a need to focus on what you want, your capabilities, because we want to link in your abilities and how you can tap your skills and your explorations that match with your personality in a specific job field. And this is why I think the job dynamics, yeah, it's critical when you want to consider maybe a career shift. You have to consider the job dynamics, your preferences, and also you consider on what you want to embark on, not only just venturing into a career because you want to get that specific money, but you also need to develop it because it's a career and it's a transition, tapping in different dynamic and different skill sets that you can leverage in the company in terms of linking in your generic skills and the acquired skills.
I like that. When you talked about career, you want to add something before I come to Azuri? We're coming to you shortly. Yes.
Yeah, I love his point so much and how he talks about the transition process. And in terms of people, when you ask, you don't have an age limit of doing things. That by 50 you're supposed to be doing this, but you know you're advised by 20s you're supposed to be in the university. That is, you get a job. No, you find people like Obama. They retired at the age of 40s and 50s, and you find Biden,
I share a birthday with him, by the way.
He became a president at the age of 70. You can make it, but it depends on your mind, on what your triggers out. If you want to take the risk of making it up, like if you're creating a company by the age of 20s, right now we have that 5% of the youth
so many
have
CEOs.
created companies and CEOs. It's not about the money or anything. It's about what you feel. Like, how am I doing it? And your long-term goal. Most of the schools, they don't teach us about financial success. They just teach us about you go to work, come back, go to work. And when actually you can refer, and I always advise my friends and everyone I come along, you go to the book, like you read the Poor and Rich Dad. You understand the dynamics of financial. We are seeking financial freedom. There's no formula of you must be this, you must be this. No, it's what you feel like. I want to try this. Yeah, so my idea was when I came to create my Nunmat, I'm creating a city. Yeah, Nunmat right now is a distribution company, but we're in the process. Now we're in the 65% process of creating a city that will focus on the agribusiness, that will focus on the commerce, that will focus on the real estate. It will be a big one.
That's a city.
Yeah.
When we were preparing for it, he told me to watch the space because my kids, they were like, "Mommy, you're going on show?" And then they were like, "Yeah." So these are the guys I'm paneling with. So they were like, "What is Nunmat?" So we were all curious. So he told me watch the space, and I like how he's doing it wholesomely.
Yes.
And I'm giving you a task. Start going to schools, high schools and primary schools right now. Teach them about the financial success. Get banks involved, like National Bank, get them involved, come them on board. Go into schools. Nunmat. That's my challenge to you.
All right, Azuri, I was actually coming, that challenge is coming. We want to know more about it and how it's taking shape because speaking of now what Clive touched on earlier on before we got deeper into, your contribution to the conversation was on the development aspect. I am just curious because at the end of the day, as much as a smaller percentage of youth is thriving in what we're calling career shift, I mean, like you guys, there's a whole lot of a majority that is neither here nor there. So they're either stagnant at some financial, state, all right? Then my question is there enough time to develop as an entrepreneur? And that's where I'm coming to you as Azuri, because people are trying this coffee business. Amechagua kama kazi yake, it stalls.
Those birds were called what? The birds that everyone ventured into. Quails. You remember the quails?
That's where you want to start us from?
Where guys ventured into it and failed.
Because if a career has to be developed, there's the amount of time it takes to sharpen a career. So how about now the shift we are seeing? And are the youth being wise? Are they being keen? Are they just not doing it at the speed and the amount of time you need in trying out each of these shifts?
I would say they are, because after the Kwelka history there, where guys, everyone ventured into it, guys got burnt financially. So right now people are very cautious on what they're doing, especially with the scam that there is online for people who are going online business. And I like how youth right now, they're taking time. It's not like my time. Right now, you're seeing young youth artists getting money from just a simple sketch. A youth getting money. Like there's some youths in Karen, actually. They're very young guys, and they're doing art from recycled tins. And I like how they've just taken a spot in Karen, and they're doing big about it. I like how youth right now, they're not relying on governments to give them jobs. And they're not relying on big pay. Like ati lazima unilipe like 10K ndo nikufanyie hii hustle, hapana. Like I have a team of guys. We do big and we go massive. So for them we take jobs as they come, because they don't I don't know if I'm answering your question.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
So they're not like looking into like they're not kuna shida economic na do at the currently, but not people are not really like focused into kama do iko
the
sana.
growth.
It's the growth.
Yeah.
Like I like what he said. What is it I'm contributing to the economy, not just
What am I becoming?
what am I becoming?
Where do I want to
I
be?
like the point where he touched on it.
So I think even Clive, you want to add on something about the development because it came from you.
Yes, first of all, in terms of career-wise, I believe when you're developing your career transition, I think this is something that has to begin maybe when you're transitioning in campus life, maybe if it's late. Because for me, I began transitioning on the first day I joined campus. It's when you start building your connections, volunteering to different organizations, and leveraging your skills. So by the time you're done with your education in campus, at least you have a glimpse of what your selling point in your CV can give to a particular company. And also on preference, again, I think young generation, they're indulging more into the arena of invention and innovation. And this is why they are not subscribing to authoritarian type rule into the job field, rather than the baby boomers in job field. They're subscribing to a hierarchical structure whereby they are okay with their particular workforce.
The bureaucracies.
Yes, and now because of this transition, I think it's also essential for young people to begin venturing into particular skill set that they have. It doesn't mean that if I've done maybe law, I'm going to be a lawyer.
Okay.
No, you have to tap out your skill set and capabilities in different fields. Like we have young innovators at Kisumu, Youth Champions. Ramina Paulette, she's a young activist, and she's an entrepreneur.
Amazing.
Through eco-innovation. She's only 16, but she's building her brand globally.
Amazing.
I love that already.
And it's not something that she's doing because she's still young. So we need to tap out our skill set because everybody has got these capabilities. And when we leverage them in terms of generic skills and what we have acquired or what you have learned, actually are going to transition well.
So
I'm thinking that young girl should come on air one
we
of
will
these
actually
days.
we will actually give
Because
her
I love how she's young and she's doing big, as from the Kabrief profile that you've given us. I like how people right now, even at the young age of, you've seen these young kids, the baby, you call them baby bloomers.
No, the baby okay.
The baby boomers is the other generation.
Yeah, the other generation.
All the generation.
So kunaka ka age, ka 4 years where kids are singing, kids are doing
building
big. There's a chick, there's a young girl I saw painting. That's a career right there.
And so do we say that things are changing with times because also we're seeing the government now coming in with the CBC real quick. Is it that they notice there is some change in this generation? I don't know what you have to say because that was really timely. People made noise about 844 and the grades. I'm coming back to you, Tanya.
It's the people, the entrepreneurs, the innovative minds, they've come to like, I don't want to do this. Yeah, I've seen kids telling parents, I want to do this.
At what age do they start telling parents?
Very young.
Okay.
I have the co-founder of mine of the Nunmat City. He's called Nikasho Waraga.
I guess shout out.
He's a very humble, kind guy. And he has a very good mind, a very mad genius mind. He's at a very young age, younger than me, 20-something, but younger.
Oh, nice.
But he's a real estate developer. And sometimes I asked him a question, like, you got good grades. I mean, why didn't you go to the university? Like, why don't you want to do this? He told me, man, let me just focus on my own. You see, I admire him because what he does is passion. He's just cool, no one controls his time. He's just keen, he's just arranges his schedule. So I want to me now, even if you look at these big politicians, the children of them, they are kids, they are those teenagers. All of them are in businesses.
Yeah, okay.
You find they are CEOs of every company.
Yeah.
Look at every politician, the kids.
And
they are
they're
every politician.
involved.
Because they are taught about the financial success. It's something which we call generational wealth. Something which is transit. And you'll never find that, no one such that, you see? So the youth, we have a 25% of the youth now, they are so much under pressures of everything, because they fear being noticed like this. Because nowadays we want to compete, you see? Their kids want to compete, but it depends on the kind of mind you have. There are people who, like, we were talking about some types of now the youths we have. We are the few, the 35%, and we have a percentage. Any kind of money they just use on expenses. You need to identify the difference. Yeah, there are differences we call the liabilities and the assets. You need to know the keen difference of the liabilities and the assets.
What I'm picking from you very keenly is that financial education that most people don't have. And you've also talked about generational wealth. And I think this would put the country at a very good place in its GDP. Azuri, you want to say something?
Very, it's burning. So as a parent, actually, with kids at CBC, I would say first, thank you for the government for returning it. It's reminding me of how I was brought up with our 844, because there was that season where there was 844 before the CBC.
Yes.
Hapo katikati, by the way, government muli waste our toi. Hapo ndasema tu kama Mkenya. Na say kama government, I would wish for them to come on board and help us give these young guys a better Kenya to live and work for, instead of them flying out. Because you see, most of them, they know, for me to make it in life, lazima niende abroad. I must go to America to make it. I must go to whatever country to make it.
Yes.
He's an ambassador with Russia, but advocating for Kenya. Why are you not, for environment? Why not there and here? So he's loving Kenya. But if the government fails him, atatuacha. We've seen athletes,
yes,
changing their nationalities into whatever. And then there's this point where he's just spoken up. And it reminded me of the Indian culture.
Okay.
When you go to an Indian shop, what do you find? Anki, what do you find? Najua umeenda kwa Indian shops mob sana.
Most of it's very good commodities.
On a weekend, what do you find?
On a weekend or school?
Human resource?
Of course.
On a weekend?
Mostly it's
school
family.
Holiday?
Mostly it's family.
How old are the young guys serving you? Very young guys.
Yes.
Because the Indians appreciate, we are entrepreneurs. I know I'm running an entrepreneurial empire. Like for me, my kids, I have a daughter, she's a designer, doing cards as well.
How old?
She's turning 8 in April, and my son turning 10 in September. Him is doing something with the arts. He draws nini. In fact, yesterday or the other day, they were telling me, Mommy, so this is the deal. Us will be doing it, you'll be selling it and banking the money for us. And then I was like, yeah, sure. But then that money, don't give it to me. It's your money.
Amazing.
Do it to develop yourself.
All right.
Yeah.
So again, I know I want to let Clive finish, but I'm just going to, ultimately, as we're talking about all these aspects in the career shift, I've seen passion come in, enjoy what you're doing, what role do you play, and also ensuring that generational wealth is accumulated. There's a lot going on. I will let you speak your last remarks in 1 minute each, because I only have 3 minutes to wrap up the show.
Okay.
At the end of the day, as we're speaking, this is possible. And it is not the time for youth to think, I'm going to flop. Clive, maybe if you just give us closing remarks on the career shift.
Yes, I think also before we embark on career shift, I think also the older generation, they ought to be in solidarity with the upcoming generation and building a coherent and a solidified workforce, because you have, in transition, you have to enable them to know how to tap onto their skill set. and also know how to, the technological know-how on how they can maneuver or how they can transition into different fields.
Okay.
And also before transitioning also, I think it's right for everybody to embark on their career, leveraging on the workforce, and also the skill set that they have bringing to the field.
Okay. I like when you bring in the older workforce and how they should, because for some reason, I will say this, generally there's no employment. So this seems to be the only option we have in this day and age.
Yeah, I know.
Are your closing remarks?
Yeah, I'm closing. So mine is 3 S's. Start up now, seek a mentor, and seek financial advice from banks. They're there to help you. There's NBK, there's cooperative, on SME banking, SME finances, yeah. Then yangu ya mwisho, I'm giving giveaways. Tarehe 14 ni Valentine mtu wangu. I'm giving giveaways based on the show. So kama ulitune up, jua kuna show, kuna 2 gifts zinakuja from Azuri.
Where? Okay, so people should actually be here early enough to make sure.
Questions and answers, then we give gifts.
Okay.
Based on today.
Based on today.
Yeah.
I'm coming to closing remarks. Allow me to appreciate Singora Azuri, who's saying, I love your show. Your voice makes me want to stay locked. Okay. Was checking the stations and I found you talking. Hey, I love it. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Kajiado is just loving the voice.
We anapata gift.
We anapata gift.
Huo ni wa kwanza kupata gift.
Yeah, Valentine ama leo.
Yeah, Valentine.
All right, so please follow us, Signora Azuri. Gift yao kwa sababu umesema sauti zenye ziko hapa ni mzuri. We appreciate you. Nelly Andrews saying, I love the young lady on set. I love how the young lady on set is jotting down important points. Okay.
Second person to get a gift.
Okay, Anasema, it shows that she's getting main concepts and ready to learn from fellow panelists. Brilliant young men too. The future is extremely bright and the future is today. These are
You
young
said
people
Zingora.
watching. Yes?
You said the name is?
No, there's Signora Zuri and of course Nelly Andrews. Nelly Andrews, these are people we are gifting in the shows courtesy
Valentine.
of Azuri on Valentine's. So keep talking to us on Facebook at Lookup TV. We got your closing remarks, they were amazing, and now the advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and people would feel it's very prestigious to be an advocate, right? Yeah. Why would you care about a shift? Now, as you close, just tell us 1 or 2 things that that could change a perspective or a mindset back at home.
Yeah, what will change your mindset back at home, and everyone watching is about you first seek financial education, and you have that one product you have in mind that you want to sell it out. Don't expect the transition to be just simple, that you just cut the runner and it's over. No, you've met a lot of setback failures. If you check the most famous CEOs, like people like Elon Musk, we have the Jeff Bezos. Before Warren Buffett, before they even tried to build the companies, they had a lot of companies with here. You try, but you have the art of don't giving up. Don't give up. You should not wait for someone to tell you, we have set of people in home, in relatives. You have relatives who are rich, who are kind of financial good, and they come to you maybe on a Christmas day, they tell you, you just study, I'll look for you a job. You see, that's what they do.
Wako wengi.
That's what they come to tell you that, and you see what comes in your mind is that I'm secured. I just do this. After all, I have someone who. Yeah. But when the D-Day comes, no one takes your phone.
Okay.
No one takes your call.
I don't know, my time has run out, and I saw all of us laugh at that, being young people on set, which means the youngsters of Mechanuka, you'd say that.
Yeah.
So people are looking at ways of actually countering the tough times and being able to actually put something on the table. Allow me to close this segment, ladies and gentlemen. It's been awesome. We'll have more hours as the Morning Drift grows, and even also on YouTube. Just keep the conversation going. Come back again.
For sure. Azuri tutarudi mara. Sunanijua tu.
Rudi kabisa. Clive, also thank you very much for what you do. And I remember somebody saying, when we are asked for experiences on our CVs, if there's a time where you are not working, you're asked what you are doing at that time, and that kills your opportunities. There's also the aspect of we want money from the government to start up businesses. I'm glad that you guys are here and that these people can keep in touch with you on your social media platforms, which are of course at the bottom of the screen, and they're also tagged. So follow Lookup TV for their contacts. Follow this show. We have tagged them on each of those posters. That's just the way you have this conversation continuing. It is the 7th of February. It is a beautiful Monday, and I have
7 days to Valentine.
Azuri, I am now closing the show. 7 days to Valentine, and I love the way she's passionate, her personality as well. And I'll just quote something here on career, and it says, the passion actually is the difference between having a job or having a career. So it is not the office you're seated at. It is not the cap you're wearing. It's not that when you mtajua kali or tengeneza bikes. It is not the salary. It's the passion that you put to it and the growth. So if you've been thinking hard on what we're discussing, only passion is the difference between if it's a job for you, just to get the food on the table, or a career and how long it will take you. My name is Anki Doris Mbat. Enjoy your giveaways, Look Up TV, courtesy of Azul. And coming, a lot more coming on Valentine's. I know you're a bit confused, I'm wearing red, but this is the month of love. I'll be wearing red almost every other day until the 30th, or did I say 30th of February? No. 28th of February. Enjoy your mornings. Be as easy as I was this morning. Feel free, do your best, and that career, that passion, that is all you need to get going. Have a lovely day.